Thank you so much, SK. And of course, we are still out here at the Quartermain Hotel in Sandton. It is the launch of SABC Plus. What an amazing morning we've had so far, really just getting enlightened on what this means for you as a viewer of the SABC. But joining me now is Merlin Naicker. He is the Group Executive for the SABC Video Entertainment, as well as Nortje, who's the Deputy General Manager for Hisense South Africa. I'm sure you've seen both of them speaking right now upstairs at the launch. But Merlin, I want to talk to you first. Let's talk about how we are in Sandton right now, but we also need to speak to those that are across the highway. Essentially, what does OTT mean for a viewer at home, and how different is it from the content and the platforms that SABC currently has available to our viewers?
Well, I think the first thing is that now you can access content, SABC content, whenever you want to as a user. So you determine how much you want to watch and when you want to watch. The service allows catch-up, so you can see the content that you want no longer in a linear fashion. So you don't have to wait for Uzalo to start at 8:30 in the evening anymore. You can watch it whenever you choose to. So it brings a level of convenience that was not previously there from an SABC perspective.
And how important was this for the SABC, given the competition that already exists with other video streaming services, to be on par and even deliver more in terms of having South African content?
It was critical for us. I wouldn't say just competition, but we were at a precipice where we're about to switch off analog, and we need to get more audiences watching our content. With the delays in the analog switch off, this was a very simple decision to make. Go digital. Everybody walks around with a mobile device, some too in fact, and we want to exploit that.
Let's talk more about the fundamental benefits, and when we talk about this, let's look at it from both the perspective of SABC as a broadcaster as well as the viewer at home. And I know you've already touched on the benefits for the viewer at home, being able to watch what they want to watch when they want to watch it.
Yeah, so we broadcast 8,760 hours per channel times 5 channels per year. There's no way you can watch all of that content. This platform allows you now to pick your favorite shows. With the catch-up service, you can go to shows that you've missed, and then in the future we'll start to really exploit our archive. We've got over 200,000 hours of content that is digitized, ready to go, and we'll start to add that onto the platform. So there's a combination of latest content, which is what is on our linear service, and some nostalgic content, so you can go back and introduce your kids and your family to some of the shows that you watched as a youngster, and we really want to tap into that.
Absolutely amazing. Luna, I want to bring you into the conversation now. Talk us through to what informed the decision from a Hisense perspective to partner up with the SABC on this.
I think, as I said earlier, we have a lot of shared values. As I listened to Mr. Makoka speaking, one of the shared values is reimagine. It is also to take care of the broader public in South Africa across the entire population. Local content is extremely important to us as well, and to partner with a broadcaster that gives it free to the end consumer. That, I think, is, in my mind, that is the most important reason why we wanted to partner with you.
And as we look at that, and you're talking about it being free, perhaps talk us through some of the other benefits outside from a commercial point of view, which we always know, obviously, as a brand, commercially, it's always important to get some sort of benefit. But outside of that, what else is it that you're looking at from a Hisense point of view?
I believe that Hisense offers, as a brand, value for money. So it fits with the South African consumer. As you rightfully said, we are in Sandton now, but we also have across the road. And we have to focus on our entire diverse population and treating everyone equally, and bringing the technology and the development made simple, in a simple and a very well way of understanding to our public. with the SABC.
Absolutely amazing. Let's talk about some of the challenges that you've had building up to this moment, because it is a new platform that is being made available. What are some of those challenges that you've had to come across, and how did you manage to navigate around those?
I think that as we spoke about earlier, this happened at a breakneck speed. We have been speaking to the SABC since 2020, but when the button was pushed, everyone at the SABC, at Hisense, at Vida, came together, and it was done at record speed. So I don't think that there was anything negative to this entire experience. In fact, we are all extremely excited to be part of this journey.
Awesome. Let me come back to you again, Merlin. We talk about how you want to have content which can speak to a lot of different people, content that we grew up watching. And I mean, I'm not that old, but there are times when you watch television like, oh, this is not like how it was back in the day when we could watch Dynamite Deep Cliff Dudes and a kid at home could almost identify themselves in what they were watching. And is that what the SABC is trying to do now, to say we want to speak to the current generation now, but we also want you to understand how it was for those that came before you growing up and what content they had? Because I look at my nieces and nephews and they're watching things I used to watch when I was a kid. I'm like, you guys are watching Sister. I used to watch that on SABC years ago.
Yeah, definitely. The beauty of an OTT platform is we exploit what is referred to in the media industry as the long tail effect. Content never dies. It just loses audiences over a period of time, but it never gets to a zero value. There's always somebody who wants to go back and look at some of the shows that we've got. So it's important for us to really bring our content together. I think the challenge as well is when you're operating a linear platform, we're the only free-to-air broadcaster, public broadcaster, and we're playing with a whole lot of commercial broadcasters. So our linear service has to play in that space, but what we realize is that there's a lot of content that we have that has smaller audiences that doesn't compete with the national audience, and this is what OTT can bring to us. So you can it's what I refer to as the singular plurality of media. So you can all have the same platform, but you're watching completely different content, and OTT allows you to do that. We can go and dig into the archives of the SABC and bring that content back to life. We're looking in the future to remaster some of our old shows, to remake them from a language perspective so that you can start to watch content. Today our number one show is Uzalo, number one in the country. Now imagine watching Uzalo in English. Right, so that will just open up the market, and this is what we're really pushing to from an SABC perspective, to make our content more available beyond the platform, but also from a language perspective, and then also to bring in content from the different regions that we get. So there may be some shows that come in from Limpopo, as an example, or the Northern Cape, that don't make it to the national channel, and OTT allows us to do that, so we can go a lot more deeper from that perspective. That's what we want to uncover. When we go out and we ask the market for concepts, we did an open brief recently, we got 1,284 concepts. So people are hungry for local content in local language that talks and resonates to a local community. We want to go out and exploit that as the SABC going forward.
And we certainly do look forward to what this will do for you as a viewer at home. I was, of course, joined by Merlin Naicker, the Group Executive for SABC for Video Entertainment, as well as Nortje, the Deputy General Manager for Hisense South Africa. And just to remind you guys at home, I know some people have been saying they are struggling with downloading the app. All you need to do is go to sabcplus.com, sign up there first, and once you have that account, then you can go to either your Google Play Store or you go into your iOS Play Store on an Apple device, and then you download the app. I've done it on my phone. I was watching Morning Live on my phone, and I'm telling you, what a time to be alive as the SABC moves with the digital era. That's how we wrap it up for now here at the Quartermain Hotel out in Sandton.